This one also comes to us from Hemant Mehta at friendlyatheist.pathos.com. Really great article. You need to go check this out. He's a great writer. We love his stuff. We use it every goddamn week. Go to Pathos and check out Friendly Atheist. So we got to really get him some more people checking out stuff. This one is about, and the only reason, literally the only reason I brought this up is because it fits into our narrative of all the Christians that are bitching about the Drag Queen Story Hour.
Oh, shit. This one. They're still going on about this. Okay.
Yeah, this time, 2 Christian organizations are suing a Louisiana library over a program that involves reading to children.
That's going to go well.
And Hemant here says that if that doesn't make sense to you, it's the Drag Queen Story Hour that they object to because they claim it, quote, illegally merges church and state.
No!
Well, that's a hell of a stretch.
One of our patrons at the $10 level left us a comment on this one. He's like, I had a friend go to the one in Mobile on September 8th. Her kids loved it. She said it wasn't too bad, the protest that is, but they were to be expected. At least no one interrupted their reading. There were people protesting a drag queen reading a story at a library to children.
But it's a man in a dress!
Oh, no.
By the way, it is a man. These are men.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't somebody that has dysphoria. This isn't somebody that's being trans. This is somebody role-playing is what it is.
Yeah.
Most of the time. The accepted convention is. Now, there are people who dress and drag as kind of a part of their transition, and that's perfectly acceptable and also not offensive because costumes, which is 100% of the time, even somebody that's part of their transition, costumes.
Yeah, if I go wearing a sexy maid outfit to Comic-Con, that doesn't make me trans. It just makes me a cosplayer.
Yeah, costumes are always just costumes. Because they're always just pretend. They're always just for fun.
Mm-hmm. So he once again says, if that doesn't make sense, and this is going to be a running joke here, people, so just bear with me here. The attorney says that these readings promote, quote, secular humanism, and that his clients are demanding the courts allow a minister to read to children for the sake of equality. That's not how America works. You don't have fucking the same access as everybody else to everything.
No, although
I don't think the library would have any problem with a minister coming and reading secular stories to children.
No,
the thing is, the minister would want to read from that one fucking book, and it'd be the same goddamn book.
Well, that would actually be an endorsement of a religion.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
At a public library, that couldn't happen because that would be taking public funding.
Wants to come in wearing their collar, I guess, their numb collar, and then read a secular story. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, that would be just fine. That'd be perfectly fine.
Get on it, buddy. Do the volunteer work.
I've known many a pastor and minister when I was younger and Baptist in this great country of America, where they could tell a really good story. They're very good orators, you know?
That's usually a job requirement.
Yeah, you can't stand there. Wait, unless you're Matt Powell.
Mad at it. How is he popular? Is he popular?
No, he's not.
Really.
He's not. No.
No.
So us not platforming him was the smart idea because otherwise it would make him more, relevant to people. Anyway, back to this story. Hi, Emmett. Okay, he says, if that doesn't make sense, well, yeah, it shouldn't. This entire lawsuit is idiotic. And so he brings it out here. He said, this is what's happening. 2 groups called Warriors for Christ and Special Forces of Liberty.
Oh, really?
Are suing over the fact that Lafayette Parish Library is hosting Drag Queen Storytime on October 6th. And this is an event which members of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette's Delta Lambda Phi chapter read to children ages 3 to 6 with the goal of celebrating diversity, helping kids look beyond gender stereotypes, accepting differences, and preventing bullying.
Yes.
Dear God, are those all bad things?
No, they are not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The worst thing you could be is a woman. And if you're a woman, how dare you be provocative? And I don't just mean sexually. Oh, and what are drag queens? Inherently provocative.
Yes.
And boys, don't you ever dare look up to women. Don't you ever dare identify with women or what they're going through or with their aesthetic or be like them in any way. You're boys. You eat beef jerky.
Have you seen the, I think it was College Humor or somebody made a commercial recently for like a whiskey brand where it was like it talks about toxic masculinity and it was fucking hilarious.
You've seen that there's Jane Walker whiskey now, right?
Yeah.
I'll have you know, that's not what I'm drinking.
Jane because Walker. That's what my whiskey needs. It needs a dick or a pussy. That's what it needs.
That's how I choose my whiskey. Does it have a dick or a pussy?
Does my beer bottle have balls on it? Oh wait, sorry. We're gonna piss off that one section of people out there like, oh, they went to the dicks now. It's like, oh great.
Oh
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to the article here. So the quote here is from let's see, the Governor John Bell Edwards and Attorney General Jeff Landry and Library Director Teresa Elberson. It says here, by bringing this lawsuit, we are unapologetically and firmly defending the civil rights movement led by Pastor Martin Luther King, said the attorney Christopher Sevier, who is representing the two organizations. Sevier believes that the Drag Queen Story Hour violates the First Amendment Establishment Clause by failing the Lemon test.
Oh, they talk about that in opening arguments? I can't remember what it says. But no, it doesn't.
We're not lawyers. We just pay $430-something an hour for a lawyer if we need it.
Not gonna.
We love you, Andrew.
We would
anyway.
If we could. I wish we had Andrew on for this segment because that would be fun. He'd be like, no.
No, that's not how this works.
It's fine.
No.
Okay.
No.
So according to Sevier, to pass the test, it must satisfy all three of the following requirements. 1, serve a valid secular purpose. 2, no endorsing of a religion. And 3, it can't entangle government with religion. And Sevier says that it violates 2 of the requirements, adding that by having the event at a library, they are endorsing secular humanism.
Not a religion.
That's not. Yeah, it's not a religion.
Now let me bring out my Louisiana here. See if I can do this terrible fucking. The evidence would suggest that the no, that's more Western. Let's see, it'd be more Boomhauer. The evidence here would suggest that the self-identified transgendered, they are using a government facility to show that the government backs their worldview and then to target children and indoctrinate them under the faith-based ideology, Sevier said.
Nope.
Secular humanism is not a faith-based ideology, you fucking idiot.
No,
Man.
It is not. And you realize, of course, that the government is secular, right?
Yeah. Not according to Christians in this country. Jesus, man.
I'm sorry, but
okay, so just so you know,
drag queens. Okay, fine. Under certain philosophical context, all femininity is drag, and fine. But drag queens are not transgender. They're not.
And it's not. There's no religion of RuPaul either. There's no.
No. And what? Okay, please define for me what the ideology of secular humanism is, because I tend to disagree with a lot of people who call themselves secular humanists, and I guess I could be also classified as a secular humanist. So,
unless you're David Smalley, then you definitely have a title where you're like, I'm a celebrant.
So what?
Celebrant of the secular humanist movement or whatever it is.
He has.
That's right. Yeah, he's like their minister or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's more religion. Anyway, so just talking about this Chris Sevier guy, he has a lot of baseless lawsuits, and he's brought many of them in the face of Christian bigotry here. So in 2013, you guys might remember this one. This is before we had our show. He sued Apple for making computers that would let him, and our patron says, let him? Why was he searching? Let him access pornography.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't go onto your computer and put on safe search for everything, you child. Let's see, in 2016, he filed several lawsuits because he wanted to marry his computer. That's this asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Because if 2 gay men can get married, why not a man and a machine? Checkmate atheists, Emmett here says.
Okay, here's what he's doing. Okay, so he's not making money off the lawsuits. The lawsuits are going to get dismissed out of hand because they're absolutely ridiculous and absurd and don't make any sense. What he is doing is he is going to certain very gullible parts of the population. See, where Ken Ham is scamming a bigger group, he's doing what the televangelist does. and goes after a very small group, but for microtransactions. And he's basically saying, I am defending you.
I bet you he has GoFundMes for things like this, too.
I'm sure.
He's getting funding for lawsuits he knows aren't going to cost him shit and aren't going to go anywhere. They're going to get dismissed out of hand. And he's fundraising on this shit. And he's saying, I'm going to be defending your religion. I'm defending your freedom of speech. We need to fight these secular humanists. And you need to give me money to fight these secular humanists. And that's exactly what he's fucking doing. And then the lawsuits don't go anywhere. It's just a con. It's a fucking con.
Oh, it absolutely is. And I have no doubt that he's charging these groups and these people a retainer.
But the funny thing is, like, they're paying him to make Christians look like idiots, really. That's what they're paying.
Yeah.
They don't
and let's
shit.
see.
They don't give shit. Because these groups they're running the same con he is. They don't give a shit if they look like idiots. They're conning people out of their money. They're conning desperate and gullible people who are afraid of transgender human beings and men in dresses. And they're
Felicia, how dare they exist in my world is what these Christians are saying.
Exactly.
How dare they?
That is exactly what they're saying.
And they're preying on uneducated, terrified people who are absolutely vulnerable to these kinds of cons.
Yeah.
And they're getting, and guarantee, these are not wealthy human beings. These are not wealthy. These are people who probably need a lot more help and could probably really benefit off some mental health professionals.
And education.
And education. And that's what we want, is them to get education, even though we're like, fuck you. Fuck you on a personal level, not on a survival and well-being level. And
we still care about you as Americans, but at the same time...
No, human beings. That's the difference.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, even better.
Yeah. But these fuckers know what they can do is they can exploit these people. And these people are afraid of change. These people are afraid of the other because everything is outside their control. And they feel like if they could be in control again, then they could just get a handle on their life. And then that's why
we got to keep them trans out of our bathrooms. Is what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
They're real scary.
It's about authoritarianism, and these people flock to authoritarianism. Therefore, this lawyer knows he's not going to do shit. He knows that these lawsuits are going to be dismissed out of hand. They're not actually going to be causing any bigotry or discrimination against these people in a systemic sense, although they certainly do contribute to people just being dicks. But like, they're not actually the system. They're just utilizing the system to exploit uneducated poor people into giving them money. It's a fucking con.
So he's the lawyer version of Peter Popoff then. So
yes, he is. He absolutely is.
He's going to start selling some holy water for your courtroom cases and stuff.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he already does.
Okay, so the last case that he brought up that got just laughably dismissed from court was him bringing up 4 lawsuits against Democratic members of Congress for having a rainbow flag outside their offices, because apparently that was establishing the religion of homosexuality. And let's make it quick. If you had to pray at the altar of homosexuality, what would you burn as your tribute?
Oh. Does glitter burn?
If you try hard enough, it will. Might take some napalm.
One of those ancient Roman candles that had the wings on the dick. That's a good one.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Like, my homosexuality is no dicks, right? So, like, burning a dick, like, yeah. I'm just gonna, like, burn a winged dick down to its nothing. And then it'll look like a vagina, and then I'll go, ah.
I was just thinking of a giant butt plug you put a wick in and just burn it there.
Yeah.
All good answers.
All good answers, and they're mostly phallic. There you go.